And welcome back to another edition of The Closed Fist. I am Russ, that is Joey, that is Will, talking the Maharaja.
Yes, sir.
The Beard Haraja is here.
There you go.
little bit more emphasis. Who expected this?
Everybody.
Everybody.
When we say who expected, or did we want it?
That's a very good question. I mean, did you want it?
From a personal standpoint, yes, it changed. We were discussing change, and I think it helps, on all levels for what they're trying to do because they need something. Their superstar shakeup did not work, so this is another way to shake things up, I would say.
Money is always an object. But, I mean, are we that sick of Randy Orton and the cookie cutter and everything and just say, okay, let's just give somebody different. We don't care who he is. Boom, go.
I'm maybe not agreed on the vessel, but the idea, yes.
Yeah. I mean, what makes this a good thing?
The hatred.
Well, the two things, the heel stuff, because they haven't had a true heel in quite a while.
Yeah.
A true heel.
The heel that everybody hates.
Yeah, because, you were talking about Kevin Owens being... The crowd respects him, but do they like him? Nah, not so much. But Jinder, they're like, he's got the heel heat, and it's going to make money, like you said. Sure. It's going to make money. It's going to print money for the WWE when they do their tour of India.
Yeah.
So, and like we said, the WWE's always been current with current events and what's going on in the world. I mean, you had your Iron Sheik in the 80s, Cold War with... what was his name?
Back then they had the Iron Sheik and
Nikolai
Volkov. And then they had their huge rivalry with the USA Express, which was Barry Windham
and Mike Rotunda.
Yep, exactly.
Bray Wyatt's dead.
You mean Bo Dallas is dead?
True.
What's funny is that
leave it.
Bo Dallas has grown a beard or whatever.
He's gonna be Wyatt.
He's starting to look more and more like his brother.
Yeah.
With that beard.
Oh no, are they gonna pull a Bella?
Get a Twitch. But I mean, how long do we foresee this going happening? How long do we foresee Jinder Mahal? That's right, Jinder Mahal, part of the 3MB legacy. 3-man band legacy.
I'm glad you brought that up because think about it. What they've done with all three of those guys. Now think about it. Heath Slater, the whole fun angle with I got kids. It's funny. He's got child support to pay. Whatever. But Drew McIntyre. 6-7 years ago was supposed to be the new face of the WWE. He was touted as the new champ, the new beginning, the whole deal. Whatever happened, it didn't work. He left, they brought him back. He's doing big things in NXT right now.
Yes.
His next move is coming up to the main roster. So you got 2 out of the 3 from 3MB that are a possibility of, good things. I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. The 3MB is carrying the WWE right now.
That's why in this business, you can never say never.
Never say never.
Steroids could do anything for anybody.
Whoa. Allegedly. Allegedly.
Oh, don't push that button.
Sorry, Jinder Maharaja.
The Maharaja
of roids.
Hemorrhoids. But looking at the main roster right now for SmackDown, we have AJ Styles and we have Kevin Owens in their own little feud in their booking. The match that they had at this past pay-per-view had a really awkward ending where AJ was slammed on the announce table and his foot got caught in some TV cords or whatnot, and they counted him out.
I think he should fight the cameraman.
True.
Always do it on the Spanish announce table.
Always.
It's they got the wrong table.
Well, now it's
again.
the Indian announce table.
Ooh. But who else do you see coming up that's going to challenge for the belt? This is with, Kevin Owens and AJ Styles being tied up in their thing.
What about Shinsuke Nakamura?
Too soon. Way too soon.
And especially if they're pushing the good guy, bad guy thing, I think it's going to be a USA versus whoever.
I think they're going to eventually go with Shinsuke Nakamura against AJ Styles down the road.
I can see that.
Oh, that's
I can
built
see that.
right already.
That's already.
You saw the end of that tag match on Tuesday night.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
built. That's built in right there, man.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you what, if you ever have a chance to Google their matches in Japan, do it because they were fantastic. Although I did read an article that Shinsuke is, at this point in his career, as I watched him a few years in Japan, the bumps this guy took were just, ugh. You would cringe. It's like, okay, he's dead.
So he's an Asian Foley.
He's pretty. You know what? If you're gonna classify that,
Or a funk.
oh my God. It was just like, okay, he's dead.
Well-
oh wait, he got up.
And that's kind of when we were discussing I don't know if it was a lackluster introduction of him where he didn't work. He was doing the promo stuff with Ziggler, and they hadn't really put him out there yet.
That's because he grew up in Gary, Indiana, with his 4 brothers.
Well,
yeah.
now he
the Michael
did.
Jackson angle. Yeah.
Now,
That was kind of funny.
that was.
But what I was going to say was just because they were talking about his age and you're talking about the bumps he took. They're trying to not kill the guy right away. You want to have a little bit of longevity there with him and build the character, build into a couple different feuds and stuff.
But he did have a knee injury before he came up from NXT, and he missed like 6 weeks. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Because it really doesn't make any. The way that they're booking him right now doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That they're going to wait like almost a month to put him in a match, and his first match is going to be on a pay-per-view.
Like I said, I didn't get the luxury of seeing any of his matches up until
Right.
the roster, up until now. So I've been waiting to see what this guy can do. I've heard the stories, especially from you, and I'm waiting to see the master of the strong.
I think the problem is that you're not gonna. If you look at a match, a couple matches of his in Japan, you're probably not going to see that. And that's a crime.
That's what everybody wants.
That's what everybody wants, but you're probably not
That's
going
why
to see it because he's so beat up.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's why he's here, just to show that.
But his match, but on the flip side of that, his matches in NXT against Samoa Joe were battles. They were great. But again, we'll have to see how this plays out. Who his major feud is going to be with. He beat Dolph Ziggler, which at this point in Dolph Ziggler's career is
Enhancement talent.
it's enhancement. Yeah,
I can't
But
stand Dolph Ziggler.
I wish they would give him.
He had his little push. He had his titles. He's had his shots. He's a tool bag.
I think they made him into a tool bag, to be honest with you, because he was a good heel.
Yeah, it's great.
He was a very good heel.
The stuff with AJ and Big E like 4 years ago when he won the belt. I thought that was great. That little, his bodyguard and his little girlfriend. I thought that was good stuff.
But again, this is where the Wombats come into play. Let's make him a face. Make him a face. Oh, let's make him a heel again.
Yeah.
The bouncing back and forth.
And he did nothing. Who did he do it? Was it Callisto and Apollo Crews? Basically, that was like the feud when he turned, back to heel.
Whatever.
Does anybody care?
Nope.
No. And it's like they do, sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
If you have a good heel, let him ride it. Let him ride it out.
Yeah.
Let him do it.
We grew up with heels that stayed heel that never turned face.
Going back in the day, and I know this is going way back, Paul Orndorff.
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Great heel.
Fantastic.
Fantastic heel. His career took a nosedive when they made him a face and then brought him back to being heel. And that bouncing back and forth, if you're not careful with the person that you have portraying that character, you're going to ruin him.
Mm-hmm. Do you think when Hogan originally went from face to heel is why they started flip-flopping everybody much more?
Possibly.
Because it was such a success?
It was money.
Yeah. I mean,
not everybody could do that because nobody saw that coming. That'd be
Right.
like turning Cena heel right now, which I'm okay with.
but they're printing money with that guy as is. I mean, you're talking about merchandise sales.
True.
And all that.
Toys, kids. I
mean, and the fact that, and don't underestimate this aspect of it, his Make-A-Wish.
True. Yeah, true.
I mean, that's a huge thing. That's one of the reasons why I think that Roman Reigns is still the way he is because of he does his Make-A-Wish.
But who wants Raymond as their wish?
You would be surprised. I mean, he's done some, but
I was gonna say, the thing is, that's all well and good. The Make-A-Wish, the this and that. Talking about Cena turning heel. Keeping things the way they are right now.
It's only hurting the company.
Watching the ratings plummet.
Segue.
And Cena even said himself. I just read an article that he was quoted as saying he wishes that it would go back to TV 14 or TV PG-13, whatever it's called.
Don't we all?
Yeah, but he even said he wishes he could go back to when he first started. This superhero kid-friendly thing has made him a multimillionaire, but if he was going to work the way he wanted to work, that's where he would be.
I miss chair shots to the head.
I don't think he'll ever go back to that.
No, that's a whole other issue.
Yeah, the mic
I know,
stuff.
but still, I'm just saying. I miss the brutality of it.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever go back
we're
to that.
kind of seeing that with Reigns and Strowman.
Oh, that's a big one, too.
That reminds me of the old school wrestling, though. I mean, there was brutality in it.
There was
but look at there was brutality, and now that dude's done for 6 months.
Yeah, but that's the thing is everybody's trying to prove themselves so hard now. All these mid-card guys are trying to become the top guy. So they're doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing too soon or not without practice or doing stupid things and they're getting hurt. Everybody's getting hurt lately, left and right.
Well, Strowman's done for like 6 months.
Well, that's what I said. We're talking about these chair shots.
Is it really going to be 6 months or is it going to be back in a month and a half? Like, he worked out really hard. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, he had to have elbow surgery.
Oh, okay.
They ripped it open.
But
who needs elbows?
But all in all, I mean, this is a huge thing for WWE to go away from their norm and give Jinder a shot. This is his shot, probably his only shot, because after he loses the belt,
he's going to get buried.
That's going to be it for him. Maybe.
See you in TNA.
But at this point, do they have anybody, depending on how it's booked, do they have anybody on the SmackDown roster right now that is going to be the guy? I don't see it. I mean, AJ's going to be tied up with Kevin Owens for a while. Shinsuke Nakamura, he's not ready. Rusev, where is he? Randy Orton, hopefully he goes away for a while. But even if he comes back, so what? I mean, do you put the belt back on him and then?
I hope not.
I mean, the Apex Predator thing was kind of cool when it first started. But it's like
I liked when he was a legend killer. I liked that Randy Orton.
The legend killer
That's
stuff.
the Randy Orton I loved.
That was cool.
Fighting Triple H at his house, that was great.
Yeah.
The chaining him to the ring and beating up Stephanie, that was great stuff.
But it's like, okay, all that's pretty much all good and gone pretty much.
You run down that roster right now. I don't see. I mean, unless you put him against AJ Styles. Who else they have? Kevin Owens. If Jericho decides to come back.
Well,
look, he said Cena.
Yeah.
Okay, well, but that's the point of what you're saying. Cena and Randy Orton. Insert one, take the other one out. It's the same.
It's the same thing.
And the worst part is, those are the top dogs on SmackDown. Those are your staple wrestlers. Those are your guys.
I will debate that, though. I think AJ Styles is their top guy on SmackDown.
Yes, I agree with that. But as your legend on SmackDown, it's going to be Randy Orton or Cena.
He's their top guy. But you know what? That might AJ and Kevin Owens will go through at least the Money in the Bank and then probably another pay-per-view. Maybe,
Right.
I think they're building AJ Nakamura, like we were saying, from the end of SmackDown, you can see it coming. It's coming to a head.
Yep.
Is it going to be at SummerSlam, or do they put AJ versus Jinder at SummerSlam?
It all depends on where.
I guarantee it's going to be Cena.
It could
America
be.
versus Europe.
I mean, it could be, but it all depends. See, AJ is going to be involved depending on what happens with the U.S. title, because they're going to give him the U.S. title eventually. Jericho. Yeah. I mean,
Or did they give AJ the U.S. title and the U.S. title versus Jinder?
I mean,
And he wins both, or doesn't win either.
Well, now the fatal. Let's see. Now they have a huge match here at Extreme. No, that's not Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules is the Fatal 5-Way.
Yeah, that is a Fatal 5-Way.
Money in the Bank is the SmackDown one.
Right. So Money in the Bank, they have Ziggler, Corbin, Styles, Zayn, Nakamura, and Owens to determine the number one contender. Now, these are pretty much all the guys that we've been discussing. Now, if you take away these guys from the roster, what do you have?
Nothing.
You have nothing. Now, does this set up one of somebody else to kind of like come forward? And I'm going to bring up a name, Big E. Big E Langston.
I'd rather see Bobby Roode come up.
I would love to see Bobby Roode come up, but is he, but they kind of
He used to be a main eventer back in the day.
They need him back down in NXT because NXT is pretty much a touring brand now.
Right.
You got to have somebody there to kind of put the aces in the seats, so much. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at
Big E.
Big E, Mojo Rawley's another guy that's kind of,
Not unless Gronk's there.
Luke Harper.
Yeah, where's he been?
He's
They had that match at Backlash.
you have Luke Harper. I would love to see Kofi Kingston back as a singles competitor.
Yeah, but you're not breaking up the New Day. There's too much money in the New Day.
That's printing money with everything, all their unicorns and their T-shirts and their bootios.
Do you know
and all
why?
that stuff.
Because New Day rocks.
New Day
rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
And you guys bust my stones about Fandango. All right, this is good.
Where's that dance move?
All right, enough. Now, anyway, getting back to the topic here. Big E, really?
I liked Big E when he was a singles competitor.
I like him better in the group.
He didn't talk. He didn't have to. He didn't have to. I mean, some guys don't have to.
I think his finisher is terrible.
I don't mind his finisher.
Big ending, that's terrible.
I don't mind the finisher. I don't mind it. But again, I mean, this is where. But a year ago, now you take all the names that I just brought up. You go back a year ago. Did we see Jinder Mahal get even
because he was half the size?
He's eating carrots. What do you want to do?
Yeah. Hey, he hasn't had a cheat day in
Ma,
over
where's
a year.
my creatine?
Yeah, exactly.
But we didn't see Jinder Mahal even come close to this.
True.
But could they? I mean, is this an opportunity? Because SmackDown is the land of opportunity for one of these guys or somebody else on this roster to kind of, surprise everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're kind of waiting for.
Here's a question. Do you really throw everything to the wind and somehow Jinder wins the U.S. title and holds the World Championship as your U.S. champion? Throwing that into SmackDown? It's been a long. It's been a long time since we had a double champion.
It's been a while. Yeah, it is.
That would be one hell of a storyline. I'm just saying.
But that could be Jinder's next thing too.
True.
He loses the main belt.
The Maharaja of the U.S. Yeah.
It has a chance, but I think
Too close to having two the same angle.
Yeah. But
the Kevin Owens thing with the face of America and all that.
But do they? But is Rusev the guy?
Here's what I was thinking after it was Rusev, because we're looking at, like I said, looking at the roster. Once the Maharaja loses the belt, which is eventually going to happen, it's whether it's SummerSlam or they get through the tour of India.
He could be a good heel.
They're not going to bring back the League of Nations per se,
right?
But you said he's probably going to get buried,
right?
You put him in a tag team with him, and
tag team champs for a while.
Something like that.
And a young guy who's kind of making a name for himself is Ty Dillinger. The perfect 10.
I'm not sold on him yet.
It's gonna take. It's gonna be a while, but
He's got a lot of proving to do.
But that's a lot. But that's a guy to maybe keep an eye on.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, it's.
Or is there anybody that's coming back that we just completely forgot about that could be on the SmackDown roster?
Not off.
You know what I mean?
Not offhand. I mean,
Surprise the hell out of us. Somebody could pop in out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think.
That's what I'm trying to think. I'm okay with that.
Kane, well, he might be in the Senate, so
Yeah.
we'll have to let that go. But I mean, are we looking at maybe like the breaking up of tag teams? Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, American Alpha. I'm very high on Chad Gable.
Well, I think that they're the type of tag team that need a belt.
Yeah.
Not that they're great in the ring, but their promo.
They're the new Steiners.
Their promo.
They really are the new Steiners. Unless one of them turns into Big Papa Pump, they're staying together.
Well, by the way, Big Papa Pump made his return on TNA.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And is that really? We're gonna get off into a tangent on TNA right now, but is that really Abyss? The guy,
yes.
The guy who went after
Yes.
the lawyer.
Yes, yeah.
That's
lawyer.
Abyss?
The lawyer is Abyss.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, because
Mind blown.
Because if you a year and a half ago, they did this whole storyline with Abyss is missing,
Yeah.
and whatever.
He's
and
missing in the abyss.
And the guy, and the guy came, and Joseph Park, I believe his name is, came out being Abyss's brother. But you never saw them together in the same room together.
I think we've seen this line before.
Yeah. And
Can
then,
we steal that from the WWE?
Yeah.
And then it all kind of worked out where they proved that he was really Abyss. It's
Oh, wow.
yeah, but yeah,
There's 3 Undertakers. No, sorry.
yeah. But that was a good tangent. But
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to get into a whole thing about Josh Matthews. It's a whole
Well, that was better than the Fandango one.
my
no way. I'm gonna start a
Fandango fan board.
yeah, something like that.
Josh Matthews is a poor man's Michael Cole. I'm coming it out. You know what? Put Josh Matthews has made the list.
Book it.
Book it.
You made the list.
That's right, Josh Matthews. You have made the list. Book it. Hate that dude.
You're the Judas in my mind.
I hate that dude.
Hi, Fozzy reference.
I'm digging the song. I'm not gonna lie. This is not the best out of the Fozzy songs I've heard.
And that's another. And depending on what happens with Fozzy, depending on how long he's on tour
I
for,
believe the tour ends at the end of the summer, so that could be your September.
SummerSlam-ish.
He's got unfinished business.
Survivor Series.
He owes him a receipt. He owes him a receipt. That's for sure.
Survivor Series is what, October-ish,
October, November.
That's probably where we might see Jericho come back if he does come back.
And do we see the same Jericho, or is he going to change himself yet once again?
But you know what though? Would that be such a bad thing? Because with the list stuff and all that stuff. I mean,
Fans really got behind the list.
they got behind the
but
list.
I think it's.
And if Fozzy does good, is he going to be the Ayatollah of rock and roll again?
But here's the thing, though. I mean, they have a tendency to stay with gimmicks too long.
True.
If he comes back with the list, I mean, does that get old at that point?
Because the list was funnier when he was a heel, when it was him and Kevin
Yes.
Owens doing it.
Yeah.
Once they split that, it was like, all right, it's.
I mean, unless they find him somebody else to kind of feed
play
off
off
of. But who?
Our
does he-
truth.
Ooh.
No.
Joke.
No. Please no. Just bury him.
You know what? That's not bad. That's not
You
bad.
did really well, Joe.
I was a Goldust fan in the day. Shattered Dreams was great.
Shattered. Yeah.
24 Karat Productions.
24 Karat Productions. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to see Jinder as a title holder for a little while.
Yeah, I would say so.
Now,
It's money.
now depending on when they make it to the India tour, do they have him drop it immediately? Because this could, I mean, because if you think about it,
I see him lose a couple matches, but I don't see him dropping the belt.
you're looking at this possibly going into Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's November, so that's Thanksgiving.
It's next week, so that's a good 6-month reign.
Possibility.
6-7
I don't know if I'd
months.
go that long. I'd say between SummerSlam and
I'd go Night
the
of
next pay-per-view.
Champions.
No, Night of Champions. That's right.
September.
But is that too soon? Is that too soon? I mean, not too soon because he's had the belt for a little while, but too soon, like, oh, he's done with India. Okay, now you're going to drop the belt. That kind of, it has a little...
Yeah, true.
You know, I mean, do they let him... that's why I brought up Survivor Series.
You're questioning the Womband's thinking right now.
Don't make me bang my head on the table again.
Exactly. So we don't know what's going to happen.
That kind of hurt last time, but we could, but we could see that though. I mean, the 6-7 months, that's longer than most guys have had.
It's as long as Brock Lesnar's had it.
Yeah. I mean,
and he's surprised he's still the champion right now. So
greatest article ever. That was amazing.
But yeah, I mean, but we're good with this right now. How are you with this 6 months from now?
Here's your question: that article we read, Goldberg.
And as we have a solemn silence, and
just bring back Stone Cold, then just.
I'd rather see that than half the people on that roster.
I think I would rather see that.
No, I know. I'm just saying that, what are they touting
Bring back
this
Paul
as
Orndorff
now?
at this point.
The new era. That's what they're calling this now. There's an official title for what's happening right now with all the indie guys coming in and everything getting built. It's called the new era.
Randy Orton loves those indie guys too.
And segue.